Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm pretty livid right now. So I got a comment because one of the videos, the last video that I did, I put donate and follow in the links below. And I do that because I get a lot of people in the comments that ask me, they're like, oh, do you have a Parler? Do you have a BitChute? Oh, do you have a donation? Where can I donate? Blah, blah, blah. So I just thought it would be easier to put that in the title so people can look at the title and just go straight to the description section to get the information that they need. I don't usually say it in the video because I feel like it interrupts the flow of what I'm doing. I don't do well, I don't have any sponsors right now, but I don't do any of that stuff. I just try and just be straight and just throw it out there. So, but I get this comment that was like, oh, that's really self-absorbed of you to, like, you know, put that in the title. Like, what's up with that? I'm like, okay, first of all, this is why I'm livid, okay? I wrote him like 3 answers. I'm like, you know what? I just need to make a video. This is why I'm livid. Okay, first of all, I've been doing this work since 2011. I started off with a podcast, and I know I might be repeating this for some of you that know this, but I know I have some new subscribers. I started off with a podcast. We had 109 episodes. We interviewed people. My best friend and I, we wrote essays and stuff for free. We did a shit ton of research, read a lot of books, watched a lot of documentaries, talked to lots and lots of people, okay? So that alone, that's a lot of time, right? When I ramble and do these videos, I can ramble like this because I know a lot of stuff because I've done a lot of research. I'm not talking about like my nail polish or like my eyelashes or any like petty shit like that. Like I come at you guys with facts because we're doing a lot of research and a lot of time that I've taken out through the years to do this. I've never asked for a cent ever. Even then, right? Not even up until like now, till recently. I've been demonetized since before July. I reapplied in July and I'm just like memory hold. Like nobody's getting back to me, right? They're taking subscribers from me every day. I've been at 28,000 people since the beginning of this year. While everybody else grows, and I know it's because not only do I talk about conservative-esque topics, but it's because I'm really one of the few conservatives that talk about medical industry shit. You know, that has the balls to do that because people know, they know, being conservative, there's just a certain box that you stay in. There's certain things that you don't talk about. There's certain, subjects that you don't dare touch because you know that they're going to come after you harder. But I haven't really been outward about this, and I haven't told people because I do like doing what I do, but now my channel's been completely demonetized. I don't have a job. I'm like living off my savings and, maybe trying to get some money here and there, but I really like this to the point where I feel like I can make this a full-time job. And it just really pisses me off when somebody's saying shit like that because I'm like, are you a communist? Like you must have a job then, right? Do you have a job? How do you get stuff done? Dude, I do my own editing. I do my own writing. I do my own shooting. Okay, I write skits. When I interview people, I have to write. I usually write, especially if they're big, I write long form letters. I send them links. I'm like, here's my work, right? I made some mini movies to share with you guys. I created a course. I make t-shirts. I design all my own stuff. I did all of the informational zines that are on the website. I did the t-shirts. I have 2 more that I'm designing coming out. My friend did the artwork, but I'm trying to sell stuff. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm doing everything on my own. I don't have a team. I'm going through this Michigan hearing that's 7 hours long, and I'm about 5 hours in. It takes time to actually watch it, listen to it, pick out the headliner that I'm gonna put, edit it, cut it out, encode it, upload it. It takes hours and hours and hours of work. Okay, this is pretty much what I'm doing, and I'm trying to make it full time, right? And when I was working, I was still, it was still like a part-time job aside to work, but I was just like, I didn't really ask for money. I didn't push it, and maybe it's part of my karma coming back to me because there was a part of me that was just like, maybe I shouldn't ask for donations, but I'm like, you know what? No, especially when I see people doing less work that are making like way more money than I am, right? I give you, not only do I do rants, but I do interviews, I do edited stuff, I do a lot of stuff. So for somebody to come up in my comment section and be like, I'm self-absorbed because I put follow and donate in the links, I'm fucking livid. That pissed me off. You can, if you need to unsubscribe, you do what you fucking need to do, but that's really insulting, okay? And just, I want to make it to, in case anybody else had those thoughts about that, you know, most people, even Anomaly, you know, like I was listening to him the other day, he does all his, that takes a lot of work. Even, you know, he does this, basically the same thing too. He does interviews, he does debates, he does his own editing, he does all this stuff. It's a lot of work. It's a full-time job. It's sometimes a part-time job depending on how frequently you post. But even when I was driving to work and I would do those videos, like I said, I can ramble and rant because I've done a lot of research on this stuff. I'm not talking about petty shit. I'm talking about real shit. I'm giving real information and real facts, okay? So that is my rant for today. But in addition to that, I want to say thank you to the people that are supportive of me. And I know that most of you guys do understand that. But, you know, I think also I had to get to the point where I need to realize that I deserve it and fight for it. And I feel like now that I am fighting to be like, hey, you know, I'm providing a service. I deserve to get compensated for it. If you can, I'm not trying to guilt people into it. I know people are broke as fuck. Like, I'm broke as fuck. We're all broke as fuck. I understand. But I'm saying that now I feel like it's like the universe getting back to me like, oh, do you really think you deserve this? So I get some people like that tell me that I shouldn't even be putting like donate and follow in the links. So anyway, with that said, thank you guys again. Donate and follow in the links below. And I have a very, I should say the person. Okay, I'm gonna say the person because I think it'll be okay. You guys will be waiting for it. But I interviewed Barricade Garage last night. It was off the chain. It's such a good interview. It should be up by Thursday. So I'm working on getting that out. I have to edit that, right? I paid for an intro. Okay, now I'm just thinking about all the time and money that I spent. Now that I'm gone, I was like, wait a minute. I have an intro for the interviews that I do. I had to pay somebody for that, okay? That at that time my editing skills weren't as good and I'm still working on it, but you know, I have to have that, you know, I have to add, I put the name tags in, I like edit it all together. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. An hour, the interview's hour itself. I have to write the questions and research. I usually research the person too before I have them on because I don't want my interviews I want them to have more gravitas and depth. So I actually research the people that I have on and try and ask them questions that they're not getting in any other interviews. And as a side note too, for any of you guys that are starting channels and doing interviews, that's something I think that you should do because, you know, if somebody is kind of blowing up and they're getting a lot of interviews, you want to have an interview that's different from everybody else's. You want to ask different questions because then, you know, a lot of times you might see one person on an interview and they're getting asked questions and you go to other view, they're just getting asked the same questions and you're just like, well, why did I watch this interview? This other person asked them the same question. It's not like I'm getting any new information. So that's another thing that I do. I watch interviews of so if I'm gonna have somebody on, they've been interviewed a lot, I watch interviews, their other interviews, and I try and I think of questions that they're not getting asked in those interviews, or I just think about stuff that I want to know that I'm not getting an answer to. So I think that's a good tip for people that are beginning and getting interviews to do stuff like that. But that's a lot of work. Like, it's a lot of work. Like, now I'm waking up, I'm planning out my day, I'm cutting stuff, I'm editing, I'm writing, I'm figuring out. I have a show tomorrow, by the way, at 10 a.m. Central Time, Wednesday, which is tomorrow. Yes, okay. So, just so you know, like, again, it's not a guilt trip video, but I really feel like I had to explain myself. And, you know, if you don't have a channel, if you haven't done this, if you're not doing this, if you've never had a podcast, you probably don't understand how much work it is. I'm just being fair. It's a lot of work. It's a job, like I said. So it looks easy, right? You're like, oh, you just press play and you put a video up. And, you know, I'm, you know, probably, I think this take's going pretty well, but, you know, sometimes I do 3 and 4 takes before I get the take that I want. That's still time. Time is money. Time is energy. Energy is money. So anyway, guys, that's it. I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Time. and have a great day. Peace, truth, and love, guys. Bye-bye. Mwah.